Hey guys, it's Paul again, and we're back now with part 2 of this quick hammered old antique bronze armour tutorial. What I've done while it's been drying is I've taken some of the war paint green and the scale 75 white and the Viking gold, and I've mixed it into a rough kind of paste. And what I'm going to do now is work into just some transition work, just the odd spots and flecks. Try and stick around where you would think that early verdigris might start to form, so around the borders of other armour plates and so on and so forth. Okay, and you can see that that's very splotchy, and I've left it just as that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take almost neat Viking gold, just with a tiny bit of that previous lighter colour in, and I'm going to put back in the highlighted areas. And the highlighted areas when you're doing bronze are going to be the areas that are coming into contact with wear or edging or battered or chipped or whatever else. It's not the same rules that you would normally have with armour. So it's not necessarily the area that's in the light, it's the area that is going to have caught the most wearing. Okay. At this stage, what I want to do is get some more colour back in this. So I'm going to add some blue to some green, and I'm going to come up with a almost non-metallic overlay, which looks like this colour. And I'm going to go in now while the gold is still wet, and I am just going to put the odd patterns in. So obviously we're still looking very slapdash at this point, which is good. That's what we want to be doing. I'm going to take some more of that green. I'm going to add some black metal back into that green. And a little bit of the Viking gold, and I'm going to create a neutral overlay. And then I'm going to go back in and I'm going to hammer over all of that blue. So we want the blue to be hidden in amongst the stipples of all the other colours. It's not a dominant colour at all for this armour. Okay, so we have the blue is now back in, and we're going to need to turn the armour much greener now in places, because we want to make sure that we've got a bit of texture from the green. And we're going to do the same thing again, but this time I'm going to mix the white and the green with some of the elven gold, which is a much more vibrant gold colour. And I'm going to hit back up at random, following the primary lines of the plates. Now we're going to take the black metal colour and the original dirty knockback colour we had, and we're going to hit in to the recesses. What we don't want to do is we don't want to have transition lines of colour crossing over the plates. So you want to have a clean line. Even if the darker stipple touches the edge of the plates, we'll knock that back later. You want to have this clean transition here. Okay. Now we're going to start building it up, and that's the fun bit. So we've got all of the texture in there now. We're going to bring the bronze to life. So we'll take some Viking gold, some green, about 50-50, with a more, slightly more, about 60-40. I want slightly more gold pigment to be visible through this. And we are gonna, again, just start to pick out the edging now. So we're going to do the rivets and the bolts, and we're going to do the hammered panels. We're going to do the central region of the armour plate, and anywhere that the plates may rub against each other. And we're going to take a darker version of that colour, and we're going to half soften in the transitions. Now you do this by very lightly, and I do mean really lightly, almost no touch whatsoever, stippling over the top. You want the tips of the brush to just kiss the surface of the armour, and that's going to leave you more texture, but it's also going to render almost a semi-translucent quality to the armour that you're working on. Okay, so at this point, I don't know if we can see this, get it to focus outside of the white light. Sorry, I do all this from an iPhone and it's obviously not the best thing for it. At this point you can really quite profoundly see the hammer strikes and the texturing in the metal. Okay, and now what we're going to do is we're going to go in with some neat dwarven bronze. Not mixed with anything at all, and we're going to just very lightly catch some of the edges, just some, anywhere that might have a bit more of advanced wear and is following the light. Okay, so that's now done. I'm going to take some elven gold. Don't know why I'm shaking it up, I've already got some on the palette. Ooh, it's not looking at anything, that's not useful. Sorry. Going to take some elven gold. And we are going to put in the final highlights on the armour. I want to just focus on just certain areas that you would imagine get more wear than everywhere else. Okay, so that highlight is in. And now what we're going to do is knock it back again. So we're going to take some black metal, some green, a little tip of the blue. We're going to create a kind of turquoisey green, which has the black metallic in it. And again, we are going to randomly go over or stipple over some of the gold that we've just put down, but very lightly. We're going to focus now slightly more on areas where verdigris would start to form. So underneath the rims of armour plates and so on and so forth. I'm going to take the green and the white and we're going to mix it 50-50 and make a really quite light green, to be honest, like a pasty half goblin green. And then we're going to go over the top of what we've just done lightly, and this is going to be us actually putting in the verdigris. And obviously bronze is covered in verdigris. And this is where you start to catch the magic of all the layers that we've done. We're going to go back to the Knock It Back pre-mix colour that we've already got, which again is the go-to black metal and the greens. And I'm just going to tap in some more individual chip marks and strikes over the top of the verdigris. Okay, so I'm now tapping in the verdigris. We're going to take the gold, the elven gold, and we are going to once again just very, very lightly put in individual accents on just the raised areas that are catching the light. Okay, just going to put that down. And I'm going to leave it to dry, and then we'll come back with part 3.